The Volga River, a silver ribbon winding through Russia, held the lifeblood of the Soviet Union. On its banks stood Stalingrad, a sprawling industrial city. In 1942, Nazi Germany's advance threatened this vital artery. For Hitler, Stalingrad was an obsession, a prize named for his nemesis. Capturing it would crush Soviet morale and secure the Caucasus oil fields. The German Sixth Army, led by General Friedrich Paulus, approached with chilling efficiency. The Luftwaffe bombed the city, reducing it to rubble. Civilians fled to makeshift shelters or were evacuated across the Volga. The stage was set for one of history's most brutal battles. The German Sixth Army, a force to be reckoned with, rolled towards Stalingrad, their confidence riding high. They had tasted victory before, and the capture of this city seemed like another stepping stone towards ultimate triumph. The Wehrmacht, Germany's war machine, was a well-oiled machine, its soldiers disciplined and well-equipped. Panzer divisions spearheaded the attack, their tanks crushing all resistance in their path. The Luftwaffe ruled the skies, raining down bombs on Soviet positions and disrupting supply lines. The initial German advance was swift, their tactics honed from years of blitzkrieg warfare. Soviet defenses crumbled under the sheer weight of the German onslaught. The Red Army, outgunned and outmaneuvered, fought with desperate courage, but their resistance was often futile. Stalingrad's factories, repurposed for war production, churned out tanks and weapons, but they were often outmatched by the superior German equipment. As the Germans pushed deeper into the city, the fighting became increasingly brutal, devolving into a savage struggle for every street, every building, every inch of ground. The clang of tank tracks against the pavement, the roar of artillery fire, and the staccato bursts of machine gun fire became the city's new symphony. Death was everywhere, a constant companion to both soldier and civilian. The battle for Stalingrad descended into a nightmarish labyrinth of urban warfare. Buildings transformed into fortresses, their shattered windows the eyes of snipers. Streets once bustling with life became no man's lands, littered with rubble and the bodies of the fallen. The Germans, accustomed to open warfare, found themselves bogged down in a deadly game of cat and mouse, their tanks useless in the narrow streets. Soviet soldiers, defending their homeland, used their knowledge of the city to their advantage. They turned every building, every sewer, every basement into a defensive position. From the ruins of factories and apartment blocks, Soviet snipers, masters of their craft, picked off German soldiers with chilling precision. One such sniper, Vasily Zaitsev, became a legend, his exploits striking fear into the hearts of the enemy. The fighting raged day and night, a relentless struggle for survival. Hand-to-hand combat was common, the desperation of the struggle reflected in the ferocity of the fighting. The city itself became a weapon, its rubble providing cover and concealment for the defenders. The Germans, frustrated by the stubborn resistance, resorted to increasingly brutal tactics. They unleashed the full fury of their firepower upon the city, reducing entire blocks to rubble. The air was thick with smoke and the stench of death, a grim testament to the savagery of the fighting. Section 4. Against all odds, the Soviets hold the line. Despite the relentless German onslaught, the Soviet defenders refused to break. They clung to the city with a tenacity born of desperation and patriotism. Their orders were simple: not one step back. Every factory, every apartment building, every inch of ground was defended with fanatical zeal. The Red Army, though outgunned and outmaneuvered, possessed a deep reserve of courage and determination. They were fighting for their homeland, their families, their very survival. Women fought alongside men, operating anti-aircraft guns, tending to the wounded, and even taking up arms themselves. The civilians of Stalingrad, those who remained, endured unimaginable hardships. They lived in cellars and bomb shelters, constant bombardment. Yet, their spirit remained unbroken. They helped build fortifications, worked in factories, and tended to the wounded, their resilience a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even the most horrific circumstances. The defense of Stalingrad became a symbol of Soviet resistance, a rallying cry for the entire nation. Section 5. Operation Uranus, the tides turn. As the battle raged in the ruins of Stalingrad, the Soviet High Command, under the shrewd leadership of Generals Zhukov and Vasilevsky, planned a daring counteroffensive. They knew that the German advance had stretched their supply lines thin, and that their forces were vulnerable in the harsh Russian winter. The plan, codenamed Operation Uranus, was a masterpiece of military strategy. It involved a massive pincer movement, designed to encircle and trap the German Sixth Army within Stalingrad. On November 19, 1942, the Soviet counteroffensive began. With a thunderous roar, thousands of artillery pieces unleashed a devastating barrage on the weakly defended German flanks. Soviet tanks, spearheaded by the legendary T-34S, surged forward, their tracks carving through the snow-covered steppes. The German lines, caught off guard, buckled and broke under the weight of the assault. The element of surprise was complete. The Germans, overconfident and ill-prepared for a Soviet offensive of this magnitude, reeled from the ferocity of the attack. Section 6. Winter's Grasp. The siege tightens. The Soviet pincers closed with lightning speed, trapping the German Sixth Army within Stalingrad. The once mighty Wehrmacht found itself encircled, cut off from reinforcements and supplies. Winter, the ancient enemy of invaders, descended upon Stalingrad with a vengeance. Temperatures plummeted to unimaginable lows, turning the battlefield into a frozen wasteland. The Volga River, the city's lifeline, froze over, cutting off the last avenue of escape for the trapped Germans. Inside the pocket, conditions for the German soldiers were nothing short of horrific. Food and ammunition ran dangerously low, and medical supplies were practically non-existent. Frostbite and disease ravaged the ranks, claiming as many lives as enemy fire. The Luftwaffe attempted to supply their encircled comrades by air, but their efforts were hampered by the harsh weather and relentless Soviet anti-aircraft fire. The once proud Sixth Army was slowly being starved and frozen into submission. The sounds of battle, once ever present, were replaced by the howling wind and the groans of the dying. Section 7. Stalingrad's Legacy. A turning point in history. On February 2, 1943, the German Sixth Army surrendered. The Battle of Stalingrad, the bloodiest battle in history, was over. The victory came at a staggering cost. The Soviet Union suffered 1.1 million casualties. German losses totaled over 800,000. The city lay in ruins, a testament to the savagery of the fighting. Stalingrad marked a turning point in World War II. The German defeat shattered their invincibility. The Red Army, invigorated by victory, pushed the Germans back. Stalingrad became a symbol of Soviet resilience, inspiring resistance worldwide. The legacy of Stalingrad extends beyond military history. It serves as a reminder of the human cost of war. The names of the fallen are etched into the memory of the city. The Battle of Stalingrad stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity.